Hey guys, a very good afternoon and welcome to this first live session on the SSC CGL Tier 2 exam refresher brought to you by TalentSprint. At the outset, I congratulate you all for clearing the SSC CGL Tier 1 exam, right? You have done a good job already and I'm sure you will do well in your Tier 2 examination as well. It's just that you need a little more practice and focus to give your best shot in that limited time available. In terms of syllabus, you know that it is exactly the same, right? We have 4 sections in the Tier 1 exam: Quantitative Aptitude, General Intelligence and Reasoning, English Language and Comprehension, and General Awareness. When it comes to Tier 2 exam, we have only 2 of these sections: Quantitative Aptitude, which becomes Quantitative Abilities, and English Language and Comprehension, right? So the fact that you've already cleared the Tier 1 exam shows that you know the smart methods and techniques to answer questions from different subjects. Now you'll be tested on a little higher level questions, right? Like for example, when it comes to quantitative abilities paper, the Tier 2 paper 1, which is on quantitative abilities, you will be given 100 questions and 2 hours of time, right? So which is like 100 questions versus 120 minutes. So you have more than 1 minute per question, which has never been the case in your rounds so far, like whether it is SSC CGL Tier 1 exam or any section within the Tier 1 examination. Similarly, when you go for bank exams also, you don't find more than 1 minute per question available for you. All right. So although the difficulty level of the question increases a little bit in Tier 2 examination, you have enough time to get the solution, follow the right solution and get the right answer for the given question there. All right. Now, since the time is very limited from now to the Tier 2 examination, I think it is tentatively scheduled for 30th of November. So we have about 15 days left, right? A couple of weeks from now. So we'll not be able to do many sessions on Tier 2 refresher, but we have planned to do 6 sessions, right? 3 on quantitative aptitude and 3 on English language. Okay. So the first session today on quantitative aptitude begins. All right. Now, before we start solving some questions from the previous year's Tier 2 papers that we have chosen, let me request you all to submit your results, the Tier 1 results, through the survey that we are conducting, right? I had mentioned this in a live session on Saturday as well, that we are conducting a lot of surveys and we have put up a lot of notifications so that we can gather your results and understand how well our program is doing, right? So many of you have already responded. We have got a great response for the Tier 1 exam results, also for the other exam results like IBPS PO prelims, SBI clerks, finals, etc. But I'm sure a lot of students have not responded yet. So whether you have qualified or not, I request you all to please participate in these surveys, right, that are being conducted, and share your valuable feedback with us so that we can improve our program accordingly. All right. Now, how do you get this survey? Log into your TalentSprint account. On the dashboard, there are some quick links on the right hand side, and one of these quick links is for notifications. So when you click on notifications, you will get a lot of notifications, of course, right? Some of which will be to collect your results. So please share your feedback and your results through that. Okay. Yeah, Jitendra Mehta has mentioned that he's already submitted it. So thank you, Jitendra. I'm hoping that others also will do it soon. Okay. He has submitted for both PO and CGL. Good. So who all are present in the session? I think many of you have already joined, right? Pawan Kumar, Jay Shankar, and who else? Yeah, we have Mahi Shri, Sai Kiran Beta, we have Kamal here. Kamal says your white shirt is nice. Okay, thank you, Kamal. I know this is nice, even I like it. Then we have Toshit Kumar, who's asked us about the marks. What marks are you referring to, Toshit Kumar? Pawan Kumar says the background is too reflecting. Well, we have realized that, but we are too short on time to do anything about it. I'm sure we will rectify this from the next session onwards. Anyway, once I start sharing my screen with all of you, you'll not have this problem. Then who else? Yeah, Amrendra, Pyari Mohanta. Then we have Bandhu Shika and others. Okay, so there is a question also on the SSC CGL Tier 2 examination. I mean, the quantitative abilities paper there. Cos pi by 7 into cos 2 pi by 7 into cos 4 pi by 7 is equal to what? The value of this. So I think what we will do is let us first solve the questions that we have here, right, that we've chosen from the previous year's papers, and then if time permits, we'll take up your queries. I request all of you to post all your questions related to the SSC CGL Tier 2 examination in the Quantitative Aptitude and English language forums, right? Like for example, this question is from Quantitative Aptitude or Quantitative Abilities as it is called in Tier 2. Please post your query in the forum. We will ensure that all these questions that are getting posted in the next few days will be answered before you go for your Tier 2 examination. All right, it will be very, very helpful because I can take it up directly from the chat, but that becomes a little ineffective when more questions start coming in, right? So we have already started following a process where questions have to come only through the forum. So please make sure that you post all your queries. In fact, in one of my earlier live sessions, somebody had mentioned that we should focus more on mensuration, algebra, trigonometry, geometry, etc. Right? I think it was Amrendra, if I'm not wrong. So we have tried doing that, right? Today we have chosen many questions from mensuration and algebra, etc. We will do that going forward as well. But if you have any questions which you are unable to answer or where you'd like to understand what's the ideal way to, solve it and arrive at the answer, please keep posting that in the forum. All right. So shall we start now? Okay. Sai Kiran has mentioned that he has just submitted it. So thank you, Sai Kiran. I hope others also will do it soon. Yeah. Toshit Kumar was referring to the SSC CGL marks of Tier 1. Well, Tier 1 marks, I don't know when it would be declared. But now that you've qualified, just focus on your Tier 2 examination first. Yeah, Amrendra's feedback was that, include questions from sections which are not very popular in bank exams like number system, trigonometry, algebra, mensuration, geometry, surds and indices. Yeah, so we've taken that feedback, Amrendra, right? Today, I'm not sure how many of the questions are from those topics, but going forward for the remaining 2 sessions, we will make sure that we'll choose more and more from these topics which are not very popular in bank exams, right? Of course, if you have any queries from any topic, you can keep posting it in the forum. So let us start now. I'll share my video screen with you all, which has got some 15 questions, right? In fact, we have not been able to conduct a test on this set of 15 questions, but all these 15 questions have been chosen from the last year's paper, right? The SSC CGL Tier 2 exam quantitative abilities paper of the year 2015. Okay, now some of these questions may look like very simple, some may be complex for you, right? It depends on your own strengths and weakness across different topics. But then what matters is not just the correct answer, but how quickly do you arrive at the correct answer. All right, so we'll be discussing some of the smartest methods to solve these questions that we've chosen here. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen now. Many of these questions, in fact, most of these questions or most of these question types here have been covered in our topics, the video library that we have for all these topics, right? Many such questions have been solved through the additional examples as well, which are also added in your list of topics in the video library. So you can refer to all those additional examples that we have covered and understand how to solve such questions. See, when it comes to topics like trigonometry, geometry, algebra, there is no, categorizing the questions based on, question types would be a little difficult because every question is different here. Algebra, there's no, we can do it to some extent, but doing it for every question is not very easy. Okay. So the point that I'm trying to make here is every question looks like a different one in a few topics like algebra, trigonometry, and surds and indices, etc. So we don't have any categories, but you just have to keep following the right approach to get the answer. So here's the first question on your screens. You have 45 seconds for this. Your time starts now. Okay, so Jitendra Mehta, Amrendra, Kohli have already marked the answer as option 2, which is x squared plus y squared equals to a squared plus b squared. Waiting for others to respond. You have 30 more seconds and then we'll take it up. We have a total of 15 questions, 15 questions for the session today. Once we are done with these 15, we'll just do some discussion about your exam strategy and then close it. Okay. Harishankar says, please read the question as it is not clear. Well, Harishankar, I think you should adjust the picture quality using the settings button that we have on the bottom right, because the stream is absolutely clear from our side, right? There is no problem here. I'm sure if you have a better bandwidth, better connection, you will get a better picture. Anyway, the question here is if x equals to a sine theta minus b cos theta, if x equals a sine theta minus b cos theta and y equals a cos theta plus b sine theta, then which of the following is true, right? Then which of the following is true? Option 2, right? Kohli says, I need your suggestion. Yes, Kohli, go ahead. All right, so let's look at the solution now. So see, the question says if x equals to a sine theta minus b cos theta and y is equal to a cos theta plus b sine theta, then which of the following is true, right? Options have been given to us. X squared plus y squared equals to a squared minus b squared. X squared plus y squared equals to a squared plus b squared. Then option 3 says x squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared is 1. And option 4 reads x squared by y squared plus a squared by b squared equals to 1. All right. So how do we solve this, right? Look at the given equations first. X, right? X equals a sine theta minus b cos theta. Okay. And y is equal to a cos theta plus b sine theta. Now what can be done? Conventional method suggests that you take the squares of both the equations, right? Square the equations on both the sides. So what happens? X squared equals to a squared sine squared theta minus 2ab sine theta cos theta plus b squared cos squared theta, right? How about the second equation? Square this on both the sides. What do we get? Y squared equals to a squared cos squared theta plus 2ab sine theta cos theta plus b squared sine squared theta, right? Simple. We are just squaring the given equations, x squared and y squared. Now add both the sides, right? Let's add these two equations. What do we get? On the left hand side we get x squared plus y squared, which is equal to, look at this, a squared sine squared theta plus a squared cos squared theta. So if we take a squared common, we have sine squared theta plus cos squared theta. Of course you can cut down a few steps here. Then the second terms get cancelled, right? Plus 2ab sine theta cos theta minus 2ab sine theta cos theta, and then we have the next two terms where b squared can be taken common. We are left with cos squared theta plus sine squared theta, and we very well know that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is 1. So this actually is equal to 1. This is also equal to 1. So finally what do we have? X squared plus y squared equals to a squared plus b squared. All right, x squared plus y squared equals to a squared plus b squared, which is option 2. Now I'm sure doing all this will not take more than 40-45 seconds. I mean, if you can cut down a few steps here, you'll be able to arrive at the answer in about 40 seconds maximum. But then overall, I would say this is a waste of time. Although we get the right answer, the method is correct, but we are taking a competitive examination and you don't have enough time that you can spend on such conventional methods. So what can be done to get the answer faster? What is a smarter way of solving this question? Right? This of course is smart, but what is a smarter way of getting the answer? Like we have discussed in our videos of trigonometry and algebra, and also through our various additional examples that we have in the library, that the best way to solve most of the questions from algebra and trigonometry is to go for substitution. Substitution in a smart way can help us solve these questions really fast, right? You should be very smart in following the substitution method. You should know which questions should be used, where should we use substitution method, for which question should we use substitution method, and for which ones should we avoid it, and what kind of values have to be substituted. Now, if you look at the question and the given options here, it is very clear that the answer would be independent of theta. You see, in the question we have got x equals to a sine theta minus b cos theta, then y equals to a cos theta plus b sine theta. But after that, when you see the options, all the options are independent of theta. What I would suggest is simply let us assume some value for theta, substitute that in both the given equations, you will get some values of x and y, and then substitute those values of x and y in the given options to see which option satisfies. Now, what is the value of theta? You can take any value such that the equations are not undefined. Like for example, sine theta and cos theta are defined for all the values from 0 to 90, but let's say if it is tan theta, if tan theta is involved in one of the equations, we cannot take theta equals to 90 degrees in that case. Why? The moment you take theta equals to 90, tan theta goes undefined. So you should not choose values which will result in, undefined values, right? Here I can say theta equals to 90 degrees. Let me just get some workspace here. Yeah. Let us assume theta equals to 90 degrees. Or you can say theta equals to 0 degrees or 45 degrees, whichever is convenient to you. Let's say theta equals to 90 degrees. What happens? Look at the value of x. X will be equal to what? A sine theta. A into sine 90 is, sine 90 is 1, right? So A into sine 90 will become A minus B cos theta. Now what is cos 90? 0. So this becomes a minus 0, which is equal to a. Look at y. For the same value of theta, 90 degrees, what is y? Y equals to a cos theta. Now a cos theta would be 0, since cos 90 is 0, plus b sin theta will be b, because sin 90 is 1. So very clearly we know that for theta equals to 90 degrees, x equals to a and y equals to b. Now how did you choose theta is 90? This was just an assumption. And we are free to assume any value until we violate any of the conditions, right? There was no condition with respect to theta here. Was there any condition given in the question that theta cannot be 90 or theta cannot be 0 or theta has to be in this range? No, no such condition was given. If at all some conditions are given, we have to follow that. Like for example, the question may say that theta has to be between, let's say 45 degrees. Theta has to be less than 45 degrees. So we will ensure that the value that we choose for theta has to be less than 45 degrees. But since no such condition was given, we are free to choose any value, right? So theta equals to 90 results in x equals to a and y equals to b. Now simply substitute x equals to a and y equals to b. What happens? A square plus b square equals to a square minus b square. You know that this is wrong. Look at this one, a square plus b square equals to a square plus b square. Correct. Option 2 is the answer. What happens if you substitute in the third one? X is equal to a, right? So a square by a square is 1. Y is b. So b square by b square is also 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. But here on the right hand side we have got 1. So this is wrong. Similarly, the fourth option also is wrong. So option 2 is our answer. You're getting it? So you take theta equals to 0 or theta equals to 90 degrees and simply verify which of these options satisfy the given equations. Remember, at times it may so happen that two of the options satisfy the value that you have chosen, right? Two options may give you the same result, or two options may satisfy the given conditions. In that case, you have to choose for some other value and then eliminate one of these two options. Okay? So that's how you crack this one. X square plus y square equals to a square plus b square. Option 2 is the answer. Now my quick question to all of you is, how many of you have done it in the smart way and who all have followed the stupid way? Right? Just comment smart or stupid in the chat so that I get to know how are you guys performing here. So smart or stupid, quick. There's nothing wrong in being honest and accepting that you have not followed the smart method, because this is where you will learn a lot of things and save time. See, Debasiz Maiti has followed the stupid method. Sai Kiran Beta has followed the stupid method. Jay Shankar has followed the conventional method. I'm not saying that, okay, it is just in comparison that we are calling it a stupid method, but that also gives you the correct answer. But what's the point in spending 30 seconds or 40 seconds when you can do it in less than 10 seconds? So in terms of managing your time, yes, you should know the smart methods, right? Mahishri has also followed the stupid method, but glad that others did it using the smart method. And even when you use the conventional method, if you can cut down the number of steps that you write on paper, if you can do a lot of calculation mentally, even that proves to be very, very helpful, right? It's not compulsory that stupid method should not be followed at all. It's all about time, right? If that method gives you the answer in less than 10 seconds, then good to go, right? Nothing wrong with it. So the method is not wrong. In comparison to what we do in substitution, yes, that looks a little lengthy. Okay. Anything else? So Amrindra mentions that I just imagined the calculation and marked the answer. I did not, although I had done it in a conventional method, I did not put pen on paper. So which is good. That's exactly what I was pointing out, right? Okay, so that's about it. Let me just move to the next one. Sharing my screen again. This actually looks like a photo studio, right? Where we go for getting our passport size photos clicked. That curtain. Okay, here's the next question. This is on mensuration, and the question is on an isosceles trapezium. Well, these questions from mensuration are again formula based, right? Most of the questions are formula based. You must know the right formula to get the answer, right? So try it out. It says the area of an isosceles trapezium is 176 centimeters squared and the height is 2/11 of the sum of its parallel sides. If the ratio of the length of the parallel sides is 4:7, then the length of the diagonal in centimeter is. So it's talking about an isosceles trapezium. Now you must know what is the formula to find out the length of a diagonal in isosceles trapezium, right? If I remember it rightly, it is under root AB plus C square, square root of AB plus C square, where A and B are the parallel sides and C is one of those isosceles legs, right? So you must know the formula, otherwise it becomes difficult. But anyway, here the values have not been given directly. He has given us the area of the trapezium, he has given us the height of the trapezium in terms of sum of its parallel sides, and the ratio between the two parallel sides. So first and foremost, find out what the parallel sides are, then find out the height. Based on that, find out the length of the isosceles leg, right? The slant side basically, and then use the formula, okay? Or tell me what method have you followed. So this may take a little longer, but you have enough time in the exam. Remember, option 4, 2 root 137 is the first response that I've got from Jagabandhu Sika. So tell me, what have you followed? What method did you follow? What formula did you use to get the answer as option 4? Amarendra has mentioned that the sides are 16 and 28. 16 and 28. Pavan Kumar says the sides are 16 and 28 and the answer is 2 root 37. Well, I'm glad that you have been able to get the answer, but what is the method that you have followed? Would like to know that. Alright, so all of you have got option 4 as the answer, 2 root 137. I mean, all those who have marked the answer so far have got it as 2 root 137. Now this is purely a formula based question, right? I mean, you should know the formula. Okay, so let's look at it. The question here says the area of an isosceles trapezium is 176 centimeters squared and the height is 2/11 of the sum of its parallel sides, right? 2/11 of the sum of its parallel sides. If the ratio of the length of the parallel sides is 4:7, then the length of the diagonal in centimeter is dash. So if the ratio of the length of these two parallel sides is 4:7, then what is the length of the diagonal? Now, what do you mean by an isosceles trapezium? First of all, I'm sure you know the trapezium, right? Trapezium is like a, it's like a quadrilateral where only one pair of sides is parallel, right? The other pair of sides is not parallel. Now, an isosceles trapezium is the one where, we have a pair of parallel sides and the other two non-parallel sides are equal in length. You understand the meaning of isosceles, right? It's like isosceles triangle. So two sides are equal, right? So here we have a pair of parallel sides, unequal parallel sides, and the other two are equal sides. You getting it? Well, this doesn't look like a isosceles trapezium, but I hope all of you have got the point, right? So let's say this is the base, right? Let's say this is A, this is B, the two parallel sides. A is parallel to B, and then these two are equal. These two are equal, right? Let's say this is C. Okay, so A is parallel to B, and then the other two sides are equal. So this is called an isosceles trapezium, right? And what is the diagonal here? The diagonal would be the line joining the two opposite ends. Both the diagonals would be equal, by the way, in a isosceles trapezium. So what we have to find out is the length of this diagonal, right? What is the length of this diagonal? Remember, you should note the formula, right? You should learn this formula by heart. The diagonal here will be equal to root over AB plus C square. This comes from a theorem called Ptolemy theorem, right? AB plus C square. Now what are A and B? A and B are the two parallel sides. C is this, length of one of those two equal sides there. Now what is given in the question? The question here talks about the area. The area is 176 centimeters square. The height, see, height again is this, the distance between the two parallel sides. This is called height, H. Okay, the height is 2/11 of the sum of its parallel sides, and the ratio between the parallel sides is 4:7. Okay, now what is the area? Area of a trapezium. Area of trapezium is, A plus B by 2, average of the two parallel sides, into the height H, right? But height is given as, according to the question, height is equal to 2/11 into A plus B. Yes or no? 2/11 into A plus B. So let us substitute this height. Height is given in terms of parallel sides, right? 2/11 of the sum of its parallel sides. So let us substitute this H in this formula here. So what do we get? The area as A plus B by 2 into height is 2/11 into A plus B. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. We are left with what? A plus B whole square divided by 11 equals to, see, the area was given as 176. So I can equate this to 176 now, right? Now simplify from this. What is A plus B? A plus, see, 176 can be taken as 16 into 11, right? This is 16 into 11. So overall you get A plus B whole square equals to, 16 into 11 square. So simple calculation is A plus B. Take square root on both the sides, right? A plus B will be equal to what? Square root of 16 into 11 square. So square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 11 square is 11, which is 44. So basically we know that the sum of the two parallel sides is 44. We also know the ratio between the two parallel sides, 4:7, right? A is to B is equal to 4:7. Please cut down the number of steps. I'm doing it in detail method here, step by step, so that you follow it clearly. But when you do it yourself in the exam, cut it down, right? Do not write every step on paper. So we know the sum is 44 and the ratio is 4:7. So what are the individual sides from here? See, 4 and 7 is 11 parts, right? So divide 44 into 11 parts. Each part would be 4. So A will be 16 and B will come out to be 7 into 4, 28, right? I'm sure you can do that calculation. So from this we get A is equal to 16 and B equals to 28. A is equal to 16, B equals to 28. Now try and understand. The length of this side has to be calculated, right? You have to find out C. You have to find out what is C here, right? Unless you do that, you will not be able to crack it. Because the formula says, I mean, if you remember the shortcut formula, it is AB plus C square, right? Square root of AB plus C square. Now, how do you get C here? Just substitute these values, whatever A and B we have got. I mean, I'm just clearing it off. We have already understood the diagram and the dimensions here, right? So the base here, A, of course, since, I mean, according to our, this thing we have taken A as 16 and B as 28, but A is larger here, right? A is bigger than B. Anyway, that doesn't matter. We can take this as 28 and this as 16. Now understand, since the two sides are parallel, if I try to divide, I mean, this into 3 parts like this, the whole figure into 3 parts, this is a square, right? So 16 will come out here. The remaining 12 has to be balanced equally. So this is 6 and 6. You're getting it? The 28 has been split as 6, 16 and 6, right? And what is the height? Height also has to be calculated. What is height? A plus B is given as, what do we get? We got A plus B as 44, right? So substitute 44 here. What do we get? 44 by 11, 4 into 2, 8, right? H is equal to 8. H is equal to 8. So this is 8. Now if you take only this portion, this shaded part here, it is like a right angle triangle, right? So the base is 6, the height is 8. So what should be the hypotenuse? It should be 10. You see, no, Pythagoras theorem, root over 6 square plus 8 square. So root 100 is what? 10. So we have got to know that C is equal to 10. C is equal to 10, that's it. So now we can say that the diagonal is equal to, right, the diagonal D. What is the formula? Root over, I mean, just remember this shortcut, AB plus C square. So square root of 16 into 28 plus C square is how much? 10 square. So how much is 16 into 28? It will be 480 minus 32, right? So 458 sorry, right? Sorry, 448 plus 100, 548, right? Now 548 is 4 into 137, so it can be taken as 2 root 137, right? Do further simplification, you get 2 root 137. I mean, I don't have enough space to write down all the intermediate steps there, but the answer comes out to be 2 root 137. So option 4 is the correct answer, like what all of you have got. Option 4. Again, looks to be lengthy, but simple calculations. I mean, you must cut down the paperwork and save your precious time there. So first find out the individual sides there, the two parallel sides, length of the two parallel sides, and then find out what is this isosceles leg and substitute. Okay, option 4. Next question. Here's the next one. Okay, this again is from mensuration. Let us see how many of you get it right. This talks about a right prism. A right prism has a triangular base whose sides are 13, 20 and 21 centimeters respectively. If the altitude of the prism is 9 centimeter, then its volume is. Amrindra says many questions in SSC depends upon formula and important results. Can you please provide us such special result or relevant question examples where smart approach tricks can be applied in a PDF? Okay, I think that's a good idea, Amrindra. If I am not wrong, in your mensuration workbook, we already have a list of formulae, but we'll add a few more to that and make it available, right? I mean, some things like diagonal in a isosceles trapezium, etc. But please do not carry that to the examination center. We will be in trouble otherwise. Here's the next question. The right prism has a triangular base. The sides of the triangle have been given to us. The altitude has also been given. We have to find out the volume. Do that now. 1 minute, all right? 1 minute is what you have. Got it? All right. So I see a few of you have marked the answer as option 4, 1134, right? Shaiju, Amrindra, Toshit Kumar has got option 3, which is 1143. But Lekhant has got option 4. So clear majority says option 4. Others have got option 3. Only one has got option 3, by the way. Jagabantu says height I can't see. Please tell me the height, sir. Height is given there, right? Don't you see the height there? The altitude of the prism is 9 centimeter. Altitude is nothing but height. Okay, so time now to discuss this. A right prism has a triangular base whose sides are 13, 20 and 21 centimeters respectively. If the altitude of the prism is 9 centimeter, then its volume is dash. Options are 1413, 1314, 1143, 1134. Right? So he's talking about a prism which has got a triangular base, right? A prism which has got a triangular base. So how does it look like? I mean, this is like a 3D figure, but you need to just, I mean, this is like the top view of the prism. Right? You understand? I mean, here of course the base looks like a square, but I don't mean that this is the base. This shaded region is the base here. You getting it? This is the base. So if you consider this as the base, then what goes vertically upwards is the prism here. All right? Okay. Now we have been given the sides of this triangular base, right? The sides are 13, 20 and 21 centimeters. So of course this is a what do we call it? A scalene triangle, right? All the three sides are different. A, B, C, all three are different. So let's say this is 13, this is 20 here and 21. And the height, the altitude of the prism is 9 centimeters, right? What is the altitude of the prism? 9 centimeters. Altitude here would mean this length, right? This is given as 9 centimeters. We have to find out the volume, right? Now you very well know that volume in any case is basically the base into the height. Volume is equal to base into height, right? What is base here? Base is a triangle. So find out the, I mean, sorry, not the base into height, base area into height. Volume is the base area into height multiplied by height. So base area into the height h. Now what is the base area here? Since the base is a triangle, we have to find out the area of the triangle, and height is 9 centimeters. Okay, so get the area of the triangle first of all, base area. How do you get the base area? See, this is an isosceles, this is a scalene triangle, and the area of a scalene triangle is calculated using Heron's formula. Remember, the base area here for a scalene triangle, right? The base area for a scalene triangle is root over s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c, right? What is s here? Semi-perimeter, a plus b plus c by 2, a plus b plus. Don't write all these formulae in the exam, right? Just start substituting the values. So 13 plus 20 plus 21 upon 2, right? How much is the semi-perimeter? So this is like 20 plus 13 is 33, 33 plus 21 is 54, right? 54 by 2 is 27. So what will be the area? The base area will be equal to root over 27 into 27 minus a, right? 27 minus 13 basically. What is 27 minus 13? 14 into 27 minus 20 is 7 into 27 minus 21 is 6. You have to simplify this, right? Simplify. So basically try to write these numbers, composite numbers, as powers of prime numbers. So this can be taken as 2 into 3, this can be taken as 2 into 7, and this is anyway 3 cube. So if you see overall, it is like 3 power 4, right? 3 cube and 3 here into 2 square into 2 square into 7 square. So what will come outside? We want the base area, right? So simplify this part. So what comes outside is 3 squared into 2 into 7. So 2 into 7 is 14. 14 into 9. How much is 14 into 9? 126. So this is the base area. But what is needed is the volume, right? So substitute, volume will be equal to 126 into the height. Height is given as 9. So what is 126 into 9? 1260 minus 126. 1260 minus 126 is 1134. So 1134 centimeter cube would be the final answer, right? Remember, in general, volume for any solid body is basically the base area into the height, right? Base area into height. Height is nothing but the altitude here. And then there's also a shortcut formula. If you can remember that, well and good. Otherwise, just go by the basic concept, right? Volume is base area into height. The shortcut formula directly to calculate the volume is as follows. the volume here can be taken as h by 4 into root over h by 4 into root over, it's like 2ab square plus 2bc square plus 2ca squared minus a power 4 minus b power 4 minus c power 4. But I'm sure life becomes very complex if we start using such shortcut formula. First of all, remembering this itself is a big challenge, and if you remember and then start substituting the values, you'll get only complex. So your choice. This is a shortcut, not a shortcut, but formula to calculate the volume of a right prism with triangular base. So either use this or just go by base area into height. Okay. Now, if your question is, can we solve this in less than 1 minute? Answer is yes, you can definitely solve this in less than 1 minute. For that, you don't have to use any shortcut method. The only thing is you have to be very quick in your calculations, right? Like for example, the calculations that we have done here, if you can avoid putting pen on paper for unnecessary stuff and do the calculations mentally, a large part of your calculation mentally, I'm sure 1 minute also is too much for this question, right? Anyway, the answer is 1134. Let's now move to the next one. Here comes the next question, another one from mensuration. A cylinder with base radius 8 cm and height 2 cm is melted to form a cone of height 6 cm. The radius of the cone will be. Now, this is a very popular question type from mensuration, right? Where a solid of one shape is converted into a solid of some other shape, right? You know that all the dimensions may change, the number of objects formed may change, but what remains constant? The volume remains constant, right? This is the last but one model of mensuration. I think 6th or 7th model of mensuration. Just remember the basic idea that the volume remains constant. Whenever you change the structure or the shape, the volume always remains constant. So keeping that in mind, just substitute the values. It will take less than 15 seconds for you to arrive at the answer. Time starts now. Got it? Yeah. I think many of you have got the answer. Option 3, 8 centimeters. Let's try this now. So a cylinder with base radius 8 cm and height 2 cm is melted to form a cone of height 6 cm. The radius of the cone will be, right? So what are we doing? We are converting a cylinder to a cone. And like we have discussed in our topic of mensuration, that whenever you change the shape of a solid, right, or structure, volume remains constant. Volume is constant. Means what? The volume of cylinder will be equal to the volume of the cone. Now, what is the volume of the cylinder? Pi r square h. So pi into r is given as 8, radius 8, and height is 2. 2 equals to volume of the cone. Volume of the cone is 1/3 of pi r square h. Pi into r has to be calculated, right? Radius of the cone has to be calculated. So let's say r square into height h is given as 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. Simplify, pi and pi gets cancelled. This 3 here goes 2 times, and then 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So clearly r square equals to 8 square. So r is equal to 8 centimeters. Option 3 is the answer. Straight. All right. Here's the next one. Now this is from simplifications or surds and indices, you can say. 6 squared plus 7 squared plus, I think this is 8 squared, not 8. Sorry about this. This is 8 squared. 6 squared plus 7 squared plus 8 squared plus 9 squared plus 10 squared divided by root over 7 plus 4 root 3 minus 4 plus 2 root 3 is equal to what? I'll give you 1 minute for this. Your time starts now. Pyari Mohan Mahanta says, sir, scalene means, scalene in the context of scalene triangle means the one where no two sides are equal, right? A triangle where no two sides are equal is called a scalene triangle. Please go watch the mensuration video. Got it? Yeah. I think many of you have got the answer. 330, option 2. All right, so let's try this out now. So the question here reads 6 squared plus 7 squared plus 8 squared plus 9 squared plus 10 squared upon root over 7 plus 4 root 3 minus root over 4 plus 2 root 3. Now I think what we need to do here is simplify the denominator first, right? Unless we do that, it is not going to be easy to crack this, right? So try and simplify this. 7 plus 4 root 3, right? How can you write this? I mean, basically, we'll try to write 7 plus 4 root 3 in terms of a plus b whole square or a plus root b whole square, so that this whole square and under root gets cancelled, right? So first of all, we will take it as 7 plus 2 root 12, because when you take 2 inside, it becomes 4, right? 2 squared. So 4 into 3 is 12, 2 root 12. And now if you see, it can be taken as root over. See, I can split 7 as 4 plus 3, and we can split 12 as 4 into 3. You know what we are trying to do, right? We are trying to get this in the form of a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. So 4 can be taken as root 4 whole square, plus 3 can be taken as root 3 whole square, plus 2 root 12 can be taken as 2 into root 4 into root 3. So if you see, this is like a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Now what is a squared plus b squared plus 2ab? A plus b whole square. So if you rewrite this in the right format, we'll get root 4 plus root 3 whole square. So what happens is under root and square gets cancelled, and finally we are left with root 4 plus root 3. Root 4 is nothing but 2. So this is 2 plus root 3. So basically under root 7 plus 4 root 3 has become 2 plus root 3. Similarly, if you try to work on the other side there, 4 plus 2 root 3. 4 plus 2 root 3. This is like 3 plus 1. This is 3 into 1. Right? So need not write all the steps now. We can directly take it as root 3 plus 1 the whole square under root. So this gets cancelled. We are left with root 3 plus 1. Now substitute this 2 plus root 3 and root 3 plus 1 in the denominators there. Right? So what do we get? We'll get 6 squared, which is 36, 7 squared, 49, 64, 81 and 100 whole divided by this 2 plus root 3 minus of root 3 plus 1. So plus root 3 minus root 3 gets cancelled, and 2 minus of 1 becomes 1. So denominator is equal to 1 basically, right? Denominator is all equal to 1. Simplify the numerator. So 36 and 64 is 100, 100 plus 100 is 200, 281, 290 and 330, right? So answer is going to be 330, option 2. Next question. Here's the next one, interesting question. See what it says. The greatest number among 3 power 50, 4 power 40, 5 power 30 and 6 power 20. So you have to find out the greatest one among 3 power 50, 4 power 40, 5 power 30 and 6 power 20. You have what, 45 seconds should be enough. Your time starts now. Okay, Amrendra says in the last question, should we use the progression formula to find the sum? You can do that. You can do that, Amrendra. So basically you have to take the sum of first 10 squares minus the sum of first 5 squares. Basically the sum of squares of first 10 natural numbers minus the sum of the squares of first 5 natural numbers. Whichever is convenient, just follow. Okay, so Satish has got option 2, 3 power 50 as the answer. Rakhi says it should be option 4, 5 power 30. Jitendra Mehta has got option 1, 6 power 20. Nobody is agreeing with anyone else, right? Satish has changed the answer now. He says it's option 2. So we've got option 1, we have got option 2 and option 4. Only option 3 is pending, 4 power 40. Somebody marks that, we'll be getting everything there. Anyway, time is up. Let us discuss this now. See what it says. The greatest number among 3 power 50, 4 power 40, 5 power 30 and 6 power 20 is. So simple one line question, but the moment you finish reading it, you're like confused. What do we do now? 3 power 50, 4 power 40, 5 power 30 and 6 power 20 are hard to calculate. I mean, you cannot be doing it manually, right? No scope at all. I mean, forget about a competitive exam. Even otherwise, finding out 3 power 50 would take days together. Okay. So how do we find out which is the greatest one here? Is it depending on the denominators, meaning the bases, or depending on the powers, or what exactly? Well, it is a combination of both, right? See, the given numbers are 3 power 50, 4 power 40, 5 power 30 and 6 power 20. The challenge here is all the bases are different and all the powers are also different. And hence, finding out which is greatest is difficult. You're getting it? By any chance, if you can make all the bases equal or all the powers equal, our life becomes simple. Now, making the bases equal is not possible because they're already like simple numbers 3, 4, 5, 6. Can something be done with the powers? Yes. We have only one choice now, that is to play with the powers here, to play with the indices and try to make them all equal. What can be done? Remember one identity, we know that a power mn is equal to a power m into n, which is actually a power m whole power n. Yes or no? A power m whole raised to the power of n. That's exactly what we are going to apply here, right? Like for example, 50 can be taken as 5 into 10. See, try to find out in all these kind of problems, try to find out the highest common factor in the powers. For 50, 40, 30, 20, the highest common factor is 10. So let us try to break all the numbers in terms of 10 here. So 5 into 10, 4 power 4 into 10, this is 5 power 3 into 10, and this is 6 power 2 into 10. And now if you try to apply this, a power m into n equals to a power m whole power n, what happens? This becomes 3 power 5 whole power 10, this is 4 power 4 whole power 10, this is 5 cube whole power 10, and 6 squared raised to the power of 10. Now it's very easy. All the powers, if you see, external powers are 10. Just simplify what is there inside the brackets, and this is easy to crack. I mean, 3 power 5 you can do, 4 power 4, 5 cube, 6 square are easy to solve, right? What is 3 power 5? 3 power 5 will be 81 into 3, which is 243. So this is like 243 power 10. 4 power 4, how much is 4 power 4? 4 power 4, 4 squared is 64, 4 squared is 16, 16 into 16 is 256. Yes or no? 4 power 4 is 256. So 256 power 10, 5 cube is 125, and 6 square is 36. Now tell me which is highest. He's asking us to find out the greatest among these four. Which is the greatest one among these four? Which is the greatest one? You're able to follow. All the powers are equal. That is what was our objective, right? Our objective was to make the powers equal. What do we get? 243 power 10, 256 power 10, 125 power 10, 36 power 10. Obviously, this is the greatest one. 256 raised to the power of 10, right? And what is 256 raised to the power of 10? It is nothing but 4 power 40. So option 3 is the answer. You getting it? Option 3. Clear to all of you? So I think some said option 1, others said option 2, a few said option 3, few said option 4. Nobody marked option 3 here, which actually is the right answer. Any other approach? This is the best approach in my view. I mean, see, there are no 4 steps. If you think that there are 4 steps here, no. This first step is nothing but the numbers given here. Second step, instead of writing 3 power 5 into 10, you can directly write 253 power 10, 243 power 10, 256 power 10, 125 power 10, 36 power 10. So in my view, there's hardly anything to be done here. You're getting it? You can quickly simplify that by taking the highest common factor in the given powers and mark the answer. A simpler approach is to skip it. If you are looking for a better way of solving this one, then you better skip it, because there cannot be anything better than what we have done here. Is it complex? I think it's very simple, right? Simple. Right? Option 3 is the answer. Let's move to the next one. Here comes the next question. The base of a right pyramid is a square of side 10 centimeter. If the height of the pyramid is 12 centimeter, then its total surface area is. Again, formula based question, but then this is something where you can, where you should be able to analyze what the formula is and then get the answer. I mean, you just have to understand the shape of this object, find out the area of each of the surfaces, and then mark the answer. So I'll give you a little more than 1 minute. I'm sure all of you can crack it. Satish is the first one to respond. He says it is 360. Okay, by the way, Hamad Khalil has got a question. What if the power is not common? Well, Hamad, the question will be given in such a way that there is a common power. Otherwise, we cannot find out the largest number among the given ones, right? Largest or smallest or whatever it is. Satish has marked 360. Shaiju has marked 260. Jay Shankar has also marked 360. So I think 2 different responses so far. All right. So I think most of you have got 360 as the answer. Option 3. Let us work on this now. The question says base of the right pyramid is a square of side 10 centimeter. If the height of the pyramid is 12 centimeter, then its total surface area is, right? So it's talking about a pyramid where the base is a square, right? The base is a square of side 10 centimeter. Now, how will it look like? See, this is the base. The side is 10 centimeter, right? Now, this is a pyramid, right? So all these lateral surfaces that we'll have will converge at a point, right? So it would look something like this, right? This is like the view of that pyramid. So base is a square. I'll shade the base here so that, okay, shading is making it only worse. I should not do that. Hold on. I'll redraw it, by the way. Sorry. So the base is a square. I thought shading will make it look like a 3D one, but I was wrong. I hope you've got the figure, right? The base is a square and then there are lateral sides. Okay. Now this clearly is 10 centimeters as per the question. All the sides are 10 centimeters. It is a square. And the height is 12 centimeters. The height of the pyramid is 12 centimeters. What do you mean by the height? The distance between the top point to the center of the pyramid. This is 12. You getting it? This height is 12. Okay. Now, he's asking us to find out the total surface area. Right? Total surface area is nothing but the sum of the areas of all the surfaces. How many surfaces has this got? It has got a base and then the 4 sides, right? 4 triangular sides. If you see all these sides, lateral sides are triangular in shape, right? The front one, the back one, then there are the 2 sides. So basically, total surface area will be equal to the 4 times the sum of triangular side plus the base, right? Total surface area here will be equal to 4 into the triangular side plus the base area, Base area is very easy to calculate. I mean, base is a square, so area is s square, 10 square, which is 100. But what is the area of this triangular slide? The triangular side is the question. The triangular surface, basically, right? There are triangular surfaces, right? 4 surfaces. So we have taken 4 times. Now, how do you get the area of that triangular surface? Understand, for us to find out the area of the triangle, you know that area of any triangle is half into base into height, right? Area of any triangle is half into base into height. The base here for the triangle is 10. Yes or no? The base for all the triangle is 10. But what is the height? Don't take 12 as the height. Remember, height of the triangle is not 12. The height of the triangle here is this height. You're able to follow? The triangle will have a different height when compared to the height of the pyramid there. So if you try and draw a right angle triangle here, understand this is the height, 12, height of the pyramid. From the center of the pyramid to the side of the pyramid, to the side of the base, the distance would be 5. Yes or no? The whole distance is 10. This would be 5, 12. And then comes this height. This height is nothing but the height of the triangle. Although it looks like slant, but the triangle also is slant. Understand? All these triangular surfaces are slant. So the height of the triangle is also coming out to be slant. You can apply the Pythagoras theorem here because it's a right angle triangle. What will this be? 13. Right? 12 and 5 will give you 13 as the hypotenuse. Root over 144 plus 25, root 169. So clearly the height of the triangle here is 13. Right? So what is the triangular side? I mean area of triangular side basically. Right? This will be equal to half into base into height. Half into base into height. Where the base is nothing but the side of the square, which is 10, and the height is 13. Height is 13. So this comes out to be what? 5 times 13, 65. 65. Now find out the area. The total surface area will be 4 into 65 plus the base area, which is 10 squared. So 465 is 260 plus 100 is 360. That's your answer. See, explanation has taken so much of time because we have drawn the diagram first and then understood how do we get the area of the triangular surface, base area, etc. But if you know what has to be done, and you avoid drawing the diagram and cutting down these steps here, cut down a few steps here, you will be able to crack this in less than 30 seconds. Okay, 360 centimeters square is the answer, option 3. Next question. Here's the next one. Now this is from algebra. It says x squared plus y squared plus z squared equals to xy plus yz plus zx. Then what is the value of the given term here? 3x power 4 plus 7y power 4 plus 5z power 4 divided by 5x power 4 y square plus 7y square z square plus 3z square x square. I think I'm sorry again, this has got a error. This is not x power 4, this is x squared. So I'll write the question. It says x squared plus y squared plus z squared equals to xy plus yz plus zx. He's asking us to find out the value of 3x power 4 plus 3x power 4 plus 7y power 4 plus 5z power 4 divided by 5x square y square plus 7y square z square plus 3z squared x squared. This is equal to what? Is the question here. That's very easy. Look at this equation. What do you think can be the values of x, y, z? Just go by substitution. See, you don't have to depend on the conventional formulae or try to do some expansion using this equation to get the answer, right? That would only make your life complex. This is all symmetric things, right? X square, y square, z square. Here we have x, y, y, z, zx. So can we say x equal to y equal to z equals to 1? Yes or no? 1 square is 1. 1 square 1. 1 square 1. So left hand side is 3. 1 into 1 1. 1 into 1 1. 1 into 1 1. Right hand side is also 3. Satisfied or not? Right? So can we say x equals to y equals to z equals to 1? Yes. Done. So all x, y, z are equal to 1. That satisfies this given equation, right? X square plus y square plus z square equals to xy plus yz plus zx. Right? In fact, 2 also would satisfy. 2 will also satisfy. X equals to y equals to z equals to 2. I mean, there are infinite values basically. 3 also satisfies, because when you say x equals to y equals to z, then x square plus y square plus z square will become equal to xy plus yz plus zx, because see, x is equal to y equals to z. So wherever we have y, we can replace with x. Wherever we have z, we can replace with x. So x square, 3x square. Here x into x, x square, x into x, x square, x into x, x square, 3x square. So the whole idea is to take x equals to y equals to z from this. Now if x is equal to y equals to z, what happens? This x power 4, y power 4, z power 4, and this denominators x square, z square, z square, z square, x square will get cancelled, because we can take x power 4 common outside in both numerator and denominator. What are we left with? 3 plus 7 plus 5. 15. In the denominator, 5 plus 7 plus 3, 15. 15 by 15 is equal to 1. So option 4 is your answer. You're getting it? The whole idea is for this to become equal, x, y, z, all three have to be equal. Right? And the moment x, y, z are equal, simplifying this becomes very, very easy. Right? Either substitute x equals to y equal to z equals to 1 here. So 3 into 1, 7 into 1, 5 into 1. 5 into 1, 7 into 1, 3 into 1. So 15 by 15 equals to 1. Or if you are smart enough, you would know that x power 4, y power 4, z power 4, and this denominators x square, y square, z square, and z square, x square will get cancelled. So we are left with 15 by 15, which is 1. Option 4. Here's the next one. One more from algebra. See what it says. Don't try to make things complex by solving these equations and all that. Go by substitution, right? It will solve the purpose in most of the cases. Now the question here says 3 into a squared plus b squared plus c squared equals to a plus b plus c whole square. A plus b plus c whole square. 3 into a square plus b square plus c square equals to a plus b plus c whole square. Then the relationship between a, b and c is. What is the relationship between a, b and c is the question here. Right? What is the relationship between a, b and c? He's not asking us to find out the values. He's just asking the relationship. Look at the options, you'll get an idea. A is not equal to B is not equal to C. So basically saying all A, B and C are different, right? All are different. Second option says A is equal to B, but they are not equal to C. Third option says, okay, I think some error here again. The third option is not A plus B plus C. Third option means A equals to B equals to C. Sorry about this printing errors that we have got. Right? Third option says A is equal to B equals to C. And the fourth option says A is not equal to B. A is not equal to B and C. B and C are equal. Try it out. I'm sure all of you have got the answer by now. Quick. Got it? So when do you think is this possible? Right? 3 times of A square plus B square plus C square should be equal to A plus B plus C whole square. Substitute. You don't have to substitute the values. Just look at the options. According to the options, either all 3 are different, or 2 of them are equal, or all 3 are equal. The easiest one to verify is putting all 3 equal. Put A equals to B equals to C. Substitute option 3 and C. Substitute A equals to B equals to C. Let us substitute A equal to B equal to C equal to 1. Right? Substitute A equal to B equal to, or don't substitute a value since it is not related to numbers. Just substitute the equation as it is. A is equal to B equals to C. So what happens? According to option 3, 3 into A is equal to B equal to C. So B also can be taken as A. C also can be taken as A. So C square becomes A square, which is equal to A plus A whole square. So what do we get? 3 into 3A square, which is equal to here 3A whole square. So 3 into 3, 9A square is equal to 9A square. Satisfied or not? How? Using option 3. So option 3 is the answer. Explanation in fact is complex. I'm sure all of you understand and know what the answer is. Very easy to crack. Next one. One more on algebra. Yeah, just go by symmetry, like what Amarendra has mentioned. You should observe such things, right? I mean, it's like symmetric. So it's not that two of the values are equal, the third one is unequal. Those options can be ruled out straight. Hamad Khalil asked a question, what is the area and perimeter of a semicircle? Come on here, you cannot be asking such questions to me here, right? Google it and you'll get the answers. Why do you want to? I mean, is there anything specific to that where you're getting confused? Please let me know. Area of a semicircle is what? Pi r square by 2. Perimeter of a semicircle will be what? Pi r plus 2r, or pi plus 2 into r. Got the answer to this one? Lekhant has got option 2, 25. Toshit Kumar has also got option 2, but Shashikant, okay, Shashikant has just changed his answer. He also has got option 2, 25. So did you all get 25 here? Let's take it up. See, the question says 3x minus 2y, 3x minus 2y upon 2x plus 3y, 2x plus 3y equals to 5 by 6. This is equal to 5 by 6. Then one of the values of the given expression here, right? Cube root of x plus cube root of y divided by cube root of x minus cube root of y whole square is equal to what? Now what we can do here is cross multiply and find out the ratio between x and y. Right here, the ratio between two terms is given to us. Let us find out the ratio between the two variables. So cross multiply, what happens? 6 3s, 18x minus 12y equals to 5 2s is 10x plus 15y. So upon simplification, what do we get? 18x minus 10x, 8x equals to 27y. Or we can say x by y equals to 27 by 8. Now understand, this x by y equals to 27 by 8 is what? A ratio. It doesn't mean that x is 27 and y is 8. X will be a multiple of 27 and y will be a multiple of 28. You're getting it? We can say that x is equal to 27n and y is equal to 8n. It can be any multiple of 27 and y can be any multiple of, I mean, of course, both n have to be common for x and y, but many possibilities are there, right? Infinite possibilities are there. X can be 27, y can be 8, x can be 54, y can be 16, x can be 81, y can be 24, right? X can be 108, y can be 32 and so on. Or x can be 270, y can be 80, right? These are some of the examples. That is the reason if you read the question properly, he says find out one of the values of the given expression. He's not asking us to find out the value of the expression, one of the values. You're getting it? Now the easiest way to find out one of the values is just to put x equals to 27n and y equals to 8n, because we are not depending on n here, right? We are taking the common factor out, right? The highest common factor out, which is n between x and y. So substitute this now, cube root of x. What is x here? 27n plus cube root of y. What is y? 8n upon again cube root of 27n minus cube root of 8n whole squared. So if you see this cube root of 27 can be written as 3. So this is like 3 cube root of n plus 2 cube root of n divided by, in the denominator again, 3 cube root of n minus 2 cube root of n whole square. Again, cube root of n in the numerator and denominator gets cancelled. That's the whole objective of taking 27n and 8n, right? In fact, if you know, you can directly substitute 27 and 8 as well. Substitute 27 and 8 and you will get the answer. You don't have to worry about n. But I'm just trying to explain you why it works out this way, right? We are not trying to find out what exactly is the answer. We are just trying to take the general form of x and y in terms of n, where n is the highest common factor. So root n, cube root of n gets cancelled. What are we left with? 3 plus 2, 5 divided by 3 minus 2, 1. 5 by 1 whole square. 5 by 1 whole square. So 25 is your answer, right? 25 option 2 would be your answer. You're getting it? N or k, whatever, right? Somebody suggested that we can take it as k. You can take it as k, 27k and 8k. All right? Or directly take 27 and 8. So cube root of 27 is 3. Cube root of 8 is 2. So 3 plus 2 by 3 minus 2. 5 by 1. 5 by 1 squared is 25. Next question. The diameter of each wheel of a car is 70 centimeter. If each wheel rotates 400 times per minute, then the speed of the car in kilometers per hour is. Options are 52.8, 5.28, 528 or 0.528. So this actually is a combination of mensuration with time and distance, but nothing complex about it, right? 45 seconds. Your time starts now. Got it? Lekant is the first one. He has marked option 3 as the answer, 5:28. Waiting for others to respond. Okay, so now I see many of you marking the answer as option 1, which is 52.8. So time now to take it up. Here we go. The diameter of each wheel of a car is 70 centimeter. If each wheel rotates 400 times per minute, then the speed of the car in kilometers per hour is dash. And we see the options: 52.8, 5.28, 528, 0.528. So not just the magnitude, but then units are also very important, right? You have to get the speed in kilometers per hour, right? If you see the magnitudes are all same, forget about the decimal there, but 528, 528, 528, 528. So even if 1 0 goes here and there, you may end up marking a wrong answer, right? So be very careful when you're doing the conversions, right? So he's talking about a wheel which has got a diameter of 70 centimeter, and this wheel rotates 400 times per minute. So what is the speed of the car? Of course, this wheel is attached to a car, so find out the speed of the car. And you know that speed is equal to distance by time, right? What is the distance covered? See, in each rotation, how much will the wheel cover? I mean, this is the wheel, let us say, right? If it rotates one time, it will cover its circumference, right? The distance covered by a wheel in each rotation is circumference. Yes or no? Here, the rotation is equivalent to the circumference, which is 2 pi r, right? 2 pi r. Now, the wheel can rotate 400 times per minute. So, in each rotation, it covers a distance of 2 pi r. In 400 rotations, it will cover 400 times 2 pi r. 2 pi r divided by time. Time is how much? Per minute. It covers 400 times per minute, right? So, time is in minutes here, right? Time is in minutes, remember. Now, simplify this. 400 into 2 pi r, 2 into 22 by 7 into r. What is the radius here? See, diameter is 70, so the radius is 35, right? The distance that we get here would be in centimeters, centimeters per minute. I mean, the speed will be in centimeters per minute. Why? The dimensions were given in centimeters, so the distance covered is in centimeters, and the time was in minutes, right? 400 rotations per minute. So centimeters per minute is the units here, right? Let us first simplify the magnitude. Let us see if we get 5 to 8 or not. So this goes 5 times. 5 into 2 is 10. So overall, this is like 400 into 5 into 2, 10 into 22 centimeters per minute. Yeah, so I think it satisfies, right? 4 into 22 is 88 into 1000. Now what do? We have to get the speed in kilometers per hour, so convert centimeters to kilometers. How do you convert centimeters to kilometers? Divide this by 10 power 5 and convert minutes to hours. How do you convert minutes to hours? Divide this by 60. So basically, if you see, this will become 4000 into 22. See, I am converting centimeters to kilometers. So divide by 10 power 5. Yes or no? 100 centimeters is 1 meter. 1000 meters is 1 kilometer. Right? So we are converting centimeters to kilometers. Converting centimeters to kilometers. So this becomes x kilometers. Divide by, it was per minute, 1 minute. But that minute has to be converted to hours. 1 minute is 1 by 60 hours. Now work on these numbers. So what happens? Overall answer will be, I mean, I'm just writing down everything in detail. You have to play with these numbers quickly and mark the answer. Right? Don't write all these steps. Conversion can be done in the first step itself if you want. Okay. So it will be like 4000 into 22 into 60 divided by 10 power 5, right? Kilometers per hour, of course. Kilometers per hour. So simplify. So these zeros will get cancelled. We will be left with 10 in the denominator. 4 into 22 into 6. So 88 into 6. 480 plus 48. 528. 528 by 10, 52.8. 52.8 kilometers per hour, which is option 1. All right. Option 1. So that's the answer. Again, I mean, if you have used the right numbers, you would know that the magnitude anyway will come out to be 55 to 8 only. Just find out how many, what will be the position of the decimal. Based on that also you can crack it. Let's move to the next one now. Here comes the next question. The portion of a ditch which is 48 meters long, 16.5 meters wide and 4 meters deep that can be filled with stones and earth available during excavation of a tunnel which is cylindrical in shape, of diameter 4 meter and length 56 meter is. Now this is an interesting one. Again, belongs to the topic of mensuration. So clearly mensuration is an important part of the SSC CGL Tier 2 quantitative abilities paper, right? Lot of questions from mensuration, all based on formulae, right? Hardly any concepts there. Of course, you must be very good in visualizing the figure or the shape there, how the conversion takes place, etc. So here's one question where you are, making a tunnel, and the earth that you get out of that tunnel would be used to fill a ditch. So what portion of that ditch can be filled is the question here. 1 minute. 1 minute is what you have. Okay, Hamad has posted something. Sir, which questions you take if session is today? Because I have posted a query. What do you mean by that, Hamad? Sorry, I'm not able to follow what you're asking here. Which question you take if session is today? Because I have posted a query. All right, so I think many of you have got the answer here. Option 3, 2 by 9, right? So you think that 2/9 of that ditch can be filled with the earth that we get out of the tunnel, right? But then Rajshri has got option 4, 1 by 9. Kamal says computer's crying. Okay, so time now to discuss this. Let's start. The portion of a ditch 48 meter long, 16.5 meters wide and 4 meters deep that can be filled with stones and earth, right? With stones and earth available during excavation of a tunnel, right? Available during excavation of a tunnel, which is cylindrical in shape, of diameter 4 meters and length 56 meters. So if you understand what's happening here is that we are trying to make a tunnel, right? Tunnel of diameter 4 meters and the length 56 meters. So obviously when you kind of dig out a tunnel or excavate a tunnel, you will get a lot of stones and earth, basically mud from that volume, right? So this stones and earth that is made available by, during this excavation of the tunnel can be used to fill a ditch, which is like a pit, right? 48 meter long, 16.5 meters wide and 4 meters deep. So what portion of this ditch, what fraction of this ditch can be filled with the stones and earth that we get from the cylindrical tunnel is the question here, right? Again, it's all about balancing the volume, right? You have to find out how much of earth comes out, or what volume of stones and mud comes out from the cylindrical tunnel, and then try to see what portion of the ditch can be filled using that volume that we get out of the cylinder. Okay, so 2 steps. First of all, find out the volume of the cylinder. How much will that be? Pi r square h, right? Pi r square h. So 22 by 7 into r. What is it? R. See, the diameter is 4, so radius will be 2, right? Diameter of the tunnel is 4, radius is 2. 2 square into h is 56. Simplify this. Goes 8 times. See, length here is nothing but the height. I mean, if you put the cylindrical vertically, it's like called height. Otherwise, it's the length of the tunnel, right? Length of the cylinder. So 22 into 4 into 8, right? This is the volume. 22 into 4 into 8. Let us keep it as it is. 22 into 4 into 8 centimeter cube, right? Or sorry, meter cube. This is the volume of the earth and stones that we get, right? Volume of stones and earth obtained from the tunnel. Now we are trying to fill this volume in this ditch, right? Find the volume of the ditch first. It will be what? Length into breadth into height. This is like a cuboid, right? Length, breadth, height, all 3 are given to you. So L into B into H. Find that out. 48 into 16.5 into 4 meter cube. Now the simple calculation that we need to do is, he's asking us to find out how much of what portion of this ditch can be filled. So divide the volume of the cylinder by the volume of the ditch. So your required answer here, in fact you could have done that in step 1 itself. I mean, write this and then in the denominator write that will be equal to volume of the cylinder divided by volume of this ditch. That will give you the fraction, how much of ditch can be covered. So 22 into 4 into 8 upon 48 into 16.5 into 4. Simplify. So 4 and 4 gets cancelled. I think this is like 5.5 into 4, 5.5 into 3, right? 5.5 into 4 is 22, 5.5 into 3 is 16.5. And this goes how many times? It goes 6 times. So 4 by 18, 4 by 18 is 2 by 9. That's your answer, right? 2 by 9, option 3. The only suggestion that I have for all of you here is, if you observe, we did not simplify the value at this part, volume of cylinder at this point, or the volume of ditch at this point, because no point in doing it. You'll first multiply all these things, and again, anyway, you have to do cancellations, right? You know that one term here has to be divided by the other term. So do not waste your time in finding out what is 22 into 4, and then what is that into 8, then what is 48 into 16.5 into 4, and then again do the calculation. You're getting it? Keep it as it is. Anyway, it has to be divided. Do the cancellations, find out the common terms, and keep it simple. All right. So 2 by 9, option 3 is the answer. Let's look at the next question. Here's the next one. Look at this. It says x equals to a power 1 by 2, a power 1 by 2 plus a power minus 1 by 2. Whereas y is equal to a power 1 by 2, right, minus a power minus 1 by 2. Then what is the value of this given expression here, right? X power 4 minus, I'll write it separately, right? We have to find the value of what? X power 4 minus x squared y squared minus 1 plus y power 4 minus x squared y squared plus 1. Again, like we have discussed, trigonometry, algebra, go by substitution, right? Clearly, the question here is independent of a. I mean, x has been given in terms of a, y also has been given in terms of a. I can substitute any value for a there, right? Put some value of a, get the result of x and y, and use that result of x and y in this expression to find out the answer. You getting it? Answer is independent of a in my view. Independent of a meaning you can put any value for a there. Of course, remember not to put something which can make the answer undefined, right? Or goes to infinity, something like that. So let's substitute a equals to 1. Assume a equals to 1. Because there is no condition given on a. If there is any condition, we would have followed that. But there is no condition. Assume a is equal to 1. So what will be the value of x? X will be equal to, see, 1 power 1 by 2 plus, it's like this, root 1 plus 1 by root 1. Because a power minus 1 by 2 is 1 by a power 1 by 2. So 1 by root 1, which is overall 1. How about y? Y will be equal to 1 or root 1 minus 1 by root 1, which is equal to 0. Done. So we know that x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0. Substitute both these values in the expression here. So what do we get? Here, what do we get? 1 power 4 minus, anyway this is 0, minus 1 plus this is 0 minus 0 plus 1. You getting it? But options are no way close, right? Options are like 12, 14, 16, 13. How is that possible? Let me just check. Oh, sorry, I think x is equal to 2. I'm sorry about this. X will come out to be 2. I'm so sorry. You can't be committing such mistakes in the exam, right? Root 1 plus 1 by root 1 is 2. I took it as 1. Yeah, so this is 2, x equals to 2 and y equals to 0. So this will be 2 power 4. 2 power 4. So how much is this? 16 minus 1 plus 1 comes out to be 16. That's your answer, option 3. Okay. Next one. Here's the next question. The unit digit in the product of 2467 whole to the power of 153 into 341 whole to the power of 72 is. Now we have discussed how to find out the units place in such cases, right? Of high value, very high values like 2467 whole to the power of 153. If you remember that method, apply it, find out the unit places, and then apply the unit digit method. See, if you get to know what is the unit place of this number and the unit place of this number, you will be easily able to find out the unit place of the overall product. Okay. So I'll give you 1 minute for this, and your time starts now. Looks like Kalyan Kumar has just joined. Good evening, Kalyan. Let me tell you that we are about to close the session, right? We started the session at 4. We'll be closing it shortly. In my view, this is the last question that we have. Got it? Yeah. So if you have solved such questions in the past, it wouldn't take more than a few, more than half a minute to crack such questions. It is all about finding out the cyclicity of this, powers of a number that ends with 7, and then finding out what could be the unit space. Harishankar says, when you complete a question, could you please specify the maximum time you can afford to spend on the same? Well, Harishankar, if you had observed, I usually do that when I ask you to start solving it. Like I say 40 seconds, 45 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute. So that is actually on the higher side. So if I've given you 45 seconds for a question, you should assume that in the actual exam, you can close it in less than 45 seconds. I give a little more time here because you have to first solve it, then respond to the chat. So considering all that, I think you can just discount a few seconds from the time that I've given you and consider that as a maximum time. All right, time now to discuss this. See what it says. The unit digit in the product of 2467 whole to the power of 153 into 341 whole to the power of 72. If you look at the second term, there's nothing to be done here. This number ends in 1, and you very well know that a number that ends in 1 or any power of a number that ends in 1 will always end in 1. 341 power 1 will end with 1. 341 power 23 will end with 1. 341 power 67 will end with 1. 341 power 72 will also end with 1. Yes or no? Like for example, if you look at powers of 11. 11 power 1 ends in 1. 11 square ends in 1, right? It ends in 1, right? How about 11 cube? That also ends in 1. And so on, right? Or for that matter, 21 square ends with 1, right? 441. Find out 21 cube. I mean, don't do the calculation now, but you will get to know that this also ends in 1. So basically the idea is when a number ends in 1, any power of that number would end with 1. So clearly the second term, 341 power 72 is going to end with 1. And because it ends with 1, we don't even have to multiply this with the first term here. See, we are, end of it, we are going to apply unit digit method. So if one number ends in x, the other number ends in 1, the product of these two numbers will anyway end in x only. So overall I can say we can just forget about the second term here. There's nothing to be done about it. All we need to do is find out the units place of this number 2467 whole to the power of 153. Now how do you do that? A step-by-step process needs to be followed. I have already discussed this in the number systems video. There are some additional examples that we have added. You can just look at that and understand the process. Anyway, I'll do it here again, right? Look at the unit place. Unit place here is 7. Write down the powers of 7. 7 power 1, 7. 7 square, 49. It ends in 9. So basically we are finding out the unit place in all these cases. 7 cube. See, 7 cube is nothing but 7 square into 7, right? So 9 into 7. 7 cube is 343, right? So you can simply say unit place is 3. Or otherwise also 7 square ends with 9. 7 cube will end with 9 into 7, 63, right? So ends with 3. How about 7 power 4? Now you're not expected to learn this value by heart, 7 power 4 by heart. But then you know that 7 cube ends in 3. So 7 power 4 can be taken as 7 cube into 7. So one number ends in 3, the other number ends in 7. The product will end in 1. Then 7 power 5, 1 into 7, 7. 7 power 6, 7 into 7, 9, and so on. So if you look at the unit spaces here, see 7, 9, 3, 1. Again we have 7, 9, and when you continue to find out 3, 1, and so on. So basically the unit places would repeat after every 4 powers. You're getting it? 7 power 1 ends with 7, 7 power 5, 7 power 9, 7 power 13, 7 power 17, 7 power 21, all these would end with 1, or all these would end with 7. 7 square ends with 9. So every 4th power now from here will end with 9. 7 square, 7 power 6, 7 power 10, 7 power 14, 7 power 18, 7 power 22, and so on. So that's called cyclicity. I know that here the cyclicity is 4. After every 4 powers, the unit space would repeat, right? Unit space repeats. Now what is the next step? This is the first step, find out the cyclicity. If you can learn it by heart for the first, for these 9 digits, well and good. You'll save this time in the examination. So cyclicity for 7 is 4 here, right? In this form, 4. Now what do you do? Next step is to divide the given power 153 by 4 and find out the remainder. So what is the remainder when you divide 153 by 4? 152 is divisible by 4, remainder is 1. The remainder is 1. Now because the remainder is 1, look at what is 7 power 1. 7 power 1 ends with 7, so I can conclude that this number also ends with 7. It may be a 100 digit number, 1000 digit number, or 10,000 digit number, it would end with 7. Why? The remainder came out to be 1 when I divide the given power by the cycle. comes out to be 1. 7 power 1 ends in 7. So this number also would end with 7. Suppose the remainder comes out to be 2. 7 square ends in 9. So this number would also end in 9. Suppose the remainder is 3. 7 power 3 ends in 3. So this number would also end in 3, and so on. Clear? So now we know that the number 2467 whole to the power of 153 ends with 7. The other number anyway ends with 1. So when one number ends in 7, the other number ends in 1, their product would end with 7. So option 3 is the answer here. Clear? So it's a simple process. Just solve a couple of questions on this model and you will be thorough with this. Okay. I think one last question before we close the session today. And here it is. So x equals to root 13 plus root 11 by root 13 minus root 11, and y equals to 1 by x. Based on this, we have to find out the value of 3x squared minus 5xy plus 3y squared. So first simplify x, try to rationalize this, get it in simple terms, then get the value of y, and then substitute in the equation here. All right, let me explain this to you. I think you must be very quick in doing your calculations here. See, he says let x equals to root 13 plus root 11 divided by root 13 minus root 11, and y is equal to 1 by x. So first of all, like I've mentioned, let us rationalize this term here and get it in the simple form. So we'll multiply both numerator and denominator by root 13 plus root 11. Okay, so we're basically not changing anything here, right? Multiply and divide both by the same value. So what do we get in the denominator? Root 13 plus root 11 whole squared. What about denominator? A plus b into a minus b. You see the denominator is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So the answer should be a squared minus b squared. So which is like root 13 squared is 13, root 11 squared is 11. So a squared minus b squared, 13 minus 11. Simplify this now. So a plus b whole square in the numerator, 13 plus 11 plus 2 root 13 into 11. So 13 into 11 comes out to be 143 divided by 13 minus 11 is 2. So overall what do we get? Numerator is 24 plus 2 root 143. Denominator is 2. So upon simplification this comes out to be 12 plus root 143. This is the value of x, 12 plus root 143. Now if x equals to 12 plus root 143, we know that y is equal to 1 by x. So again, when you, if you go through the video of algebra, you would know that algebra and surds and indices, you would know that y comes out to be 12 minus root 143. Again, rationalization, right? 1 by x will be 1 by 12 plus root 143. Again, multiply both numerator and denominator by 12 minus root 143 by 12 minus, multiply and divide both by 12 minus root 143. Or let me do that in fact. If you are, you should be directly writing the value, but let me explain you the process behind it. So this comes out to be 1 by 12 plus root 143. We will multiply both numerator and denominator by 12 minus root 143. So what happens? 1 into 12 minus root 143 is 12 minus root 143 divided by this a plus b into a minus b again, a square minus b square. So 12 square 144, b square 143 comes out to be 1. So y is equal to 12 minus root 143. Now substitute both these values in the given expression, right? So 3x squared minus 5xy plus 3y square. That one step you need to calculate, right? And get the answer. So 3 into, I'm directly writing what is x square. X square will be 144 plus, see, you would know that actually in this x square and y square, that 2ab term will get cancelled. See, a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. So what happens? Plus 2ab and minus 2ab gets cancelled. So if you are smart enough, you can avoid writing that 2ab term in both the places, right? Anyway, let me just do it fully and then show you how to cut it down. So 144, 3 into a plus b whole square, right? So a square plus 2ab. So 2ab will be how much? 2 into 12, 24 root 143 plus b square is 143 minus 5xy. So 5 into x into y. So 12 plus 143 root 143 into 12 minus root 143. How much will that be? A plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square. So 5 into 144 minus 143 plus 3 into y square. Y square will be how much? 144 minus 24 root 143 plus 143. right? So if you observe 3 into 24 root 143 and minus 3 into 24 root 143 will get cancelled. This 144 minus 143 is anyway 1. So final answer will be 144 plus 143 is 287. So 3 into 287 minus 5 into 1 plus 3 into 287. So basically 6 into 287. So 1200 plus 480, 1680 plus 42, 1722. 1722 minus 5 is 1717. 1717, which is option 1. Okay, but try to be quick and cut down these steps here. Like for example, when you're simplifying x, you actually need not write root 13 plus root 11 by root 13 minus root 13 plus root 11 by root 13 plus root 11. Mentally you can do this and arrive at this value, right? At least one intermediate step can be cut down. Again, for finding out y, you need not do the whole stuff. You know that it will be conjugate of 12 plus root 143, so which is 12 minus root 143, and then just work on this and get the answer. So 1717, option 1 would be the answer to this question. And with this, we come to the end of this session, which was on quantitative abilities paper of your SSC CGL Tier 2 exam. Okay. So I think the takeaway from the session today should be that, especially from trigonometry and algebra, we have seen that questions can be answered using substitution methods. So try and work on that, right? Try to use smart methods and avoid getting into the trap of solving using conventional method and formula there. But then again, there are topics like mensuration where you have to, learn all the formulae, important formulae, or you should know how to draw the diagram there, visualize the diagram, and be able to arrive at the answer. Okay, so I think overall practice is the key. The more you practice, the easier it gets, right? So keep practicing. We'll meet again on Wednesday for your SSC CGL Tier 2 refresher, and the session there will be on English language. Will be taken up by Sylvia. Okay, like I mentioned in the beginning of this session, you can post all your queries relevant to the quantitative abilities paper in the SSC CGL, in your quantitative aptitude course of the SSC CGL program, right? Just post it in the discussion forum there, and we will ensure that all those questions, right, relevant to the SSC CGL Tier 2 exam are answered before you go for the exam there, right? In fact, we will choose those questions also for our upcoming live sessions for this refresher, right? So that's about it. Keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. See you in the next session. Bye.